Hello, A Better Lived Life crew. This is Christina, Coach Combat Vet and Community Change Agent. And today we're going to talk about what it takes sometimes to get tasks done and how we can remove barriers for ourselves. And the example we're going to use today is getting those things in your refrigerator cooked that have been sitting there for too long before they finally go bad. Yes, today's video is being brought to you today in PJs because part of that is on theme. We don't need to make things harder for ourselves by being perfectionist. Removing barriers, decreasing friction, making things easier for ourselves is the name of the game in ADHD. Every single barrier is like a mountain to us and can often just stop us in our tracks. So, for example, this morning, on days I get to stay home and I don't have to go anywhere, I like to stay in my pajamas and I'll actually cook myself breakfast. So I went ahead this morning, and as I'm getting ready to cook breakfast, I'm like, I have these vegetables in my fridge. They have been here forever. They have been nagging me in the back of my head. What are you gonna do? And so, just an ADHD friendly hack, I almost never buy fresh vegetables. It's always frozen. It's just so much easier, saves so much money. But for whatever reason, a little bug bit me or something, and I started thinking, I'm gonna cook some vegetables. So about 2 weeks ago, I bought Brussels sprouts. About a week ago, I bought asparagus, and they've just been sitting in my fridge. So this morning, as I'm thinking about it's time to make breakfast, I realize I'm actually home. I have the time. I don't have any pressing matters that would keep me from cooking. And what's more, I'm already going to be in the kitchen cooking breakfast. So I just do things the easiest way I know how to stay on track with ADHD. And as I'm heading to the kitchen, I take my laptop with me and I grab a folding chair on the way into the kitchen. And I just set up the computer and I started playing videos on YouTube while I made myself breakfast and went back and forth between sitting on this folding chair and standing up while I cooked. And then I'll be honest, I kind of forgot that I was going to cook the other stuff. So as I'm wrapping up cooking the breakfast, all of a sudden I'm like, oh, right, I brought the chair and everything in here because I'm going to cook all this other stuff. So I go ahead and I start pulling things out of the fridge because I'm like, either I'm cooking them today or they're going in the garbage if they're bad. So I pull out the Brussels sprouts, open the bag, smell them, they seem okay. I look at them, they seem okay. So I dump them into the sink to start washing them. I set the big pot on the stove to start warming the water up. And as I wash the Brussels sprouts and cut off that little gross end at the bottom, I don't like it. I just drop them right in there. Drop them right in the water. It's not even boiling yet, but lowest barrier to entry. Just throw them in. And I'm doing this as I go. And as soon as I get all those in, I'm like, okay, well, I've already got the cutting board out. I've already got the sink full of gross stuff. Let's just start the asparagus right away too. So I get the big pot, the big saucepan, frying pan, whatever you want to call it. I got a big one. Y'all, if you hate cooking and you have ADHD, big pans, make a lot of food, freeze it, put it in the fridge. Save so much time. Much easier. So I get out the big frying pan and I just start rinsing and then cutting off the bottoms of the asparagus because I don't like that hard part at the bottom. I just don't. So I throw those into the saucepan, and those of you that have watched my videos or know me, I'm mostly vegan, but this was already rough, and the way I like my asparagus is in butter. So I'm like, screw it, today we are cooking in butter. So I throw some butter in the pan, and this way I'm also more looking forward to it. Asparagus cooked in butter is just delicious, and I start throwing all my herbs in, and I just start smushing around, put the lid on, put that on low heat so it doesn't burn. And again, I'm not leaving the kitchen, which makes it very hard for things to burn. So I sit back down and I let these things keep going. And then I start, I move some things around and I start doing some dishes so that I clear up most of my mess. This way I don't deal with it all later. So I'm in the kitchen anyway, might as well. So start doing the dishes, get those put in there, sit back down for a minute, get back up to check on my stuff. And I just keep doing this until finally the Brussels sprouts look like they're done enough, and I'm impatient, so I'm not gonna wait for them to completely cool on their own. So I make sure the sink is empty so I don't break anything. And I just start pouring the boiling water out until there's, like, I can't tip it any further without dumping the Brussels sprouts into the fridge or into the sink. So I dump and I dump and I dump. And then I set those back down so they can start cooling. And for those of you that are like, well, where's your, what do people call them? Colanders, pasta strainer, whatever you want to call it. It was actually recently dirty. I had just washed it and thrown it in the dish drainer and it was buried. So I just got as much water out as I could. And I waited for a few minutes till the top Brussels sprouts were cool enough to touch, and I started pulling them out and just cutting them in half, pulling them out, cutting them in half. And part of while I was doing that, I was also prepping this big bowl with some oil and seasonings and garlic, oregano, stuff like that, so that I could then, once I had them all cut in half, cooled enough, I could grab them, cut them all in half, just threw them in there, started mixing them around, threw them right onto the pan, threw those into the oven. By that point in time, the asparagus was close to finished to the way I like it. If you like it a little rougher, you probably would have been done earlier, but I like it certain ways. So I go ahead and turn that off, and I start munching on the asparagus as I go, because that was the whole point. I like the asparagus and butter. So they're delicious, and I'm just munching on those as I keep going about the rest of the stuff. Now, once I get to that point, once the Brussels sprouts are in the oven, now is the time I can actually stop for a minute. And then, because you never leave the kitchen without something that'll force you back if you're cooking, I went ahead and set the microwave timer. And then I finally went back to the living room, but it was only for about 10 minutes till the alarm went off, and I came out and I checked on everything. By that point in time, the asparagus was pretty much cool enough I could throw it in a container and throw it in the fridge. But, you know, and then I just kept resetting the timer for like 10 minutes until the Brussels sprouts looked like they were finally done. Of course, like trying to flip them halfway through, but whatever. So basically, all of that to say, make things less friction for yourself. With ADHD, that is so important. I was very deliberate in taking my computer with me, so I had something to entertain me while I was cooking. I brought the folding chair in so that I had something to sit on. I didn't have to leave the kitchen. When I finally did leave the kitchen, I had an alarm that reminded me to come back. And then I started thinking about this morning, and we talk about strategies on this channel. I wanted this to be an ADHD channel. It's kind of all over the place because I'm all over the place, but that's okay. And I started thinking about that, and I was like, you know, I don't think I've gone over on this channel how important it is with ADHD to remove whatever barriers we can. I was already going to be cooking, so it made sense for me to do more cooking already in the kitchen. It made sense to do this video in my pajamas because I did not need one more barrier of my brain going, well, we got to find something to wear. We got to get changed, but I'm so comfortable. It's my only day off in weeks, because between work and helping out some other people, I just haven't had a free day in a long time. So I did not want to change out of my pajamas. I really don't still. So I'm like, screw it. Let's do the video in the PJs. Getting things done does not have to look like perfection. It just has to be done. The vast majority of things in life just have to be done. They don't need to be done to some super high caliber, just done. The vegetables are cooked. Now I have vegetables to eat during the week. The video has been filmed. And this one, because I have no script and there's not a lot of uhs and ums, shouldn't require that much editing, just looking for anything really obvious. And then I can get this uploaded and out to all of you fabulous people. But all of that to say, just remember, make it easy for yourself. Make it easy. Look for the things that grease the wheels, that remove obstacles. It's okay to watch YouTube in the kitchen. It's okay to film in your PJs. It's okay to not have what you do look like everyone else. If that's what it takes for you to do it your way. look for the easy routes. Okay, if I said anything that inspired you, or you suddenly went, you know what, I'm going to cook those vegetables today, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with anybody that might benefit from this content, and go forth and do great things.